Hey guys, today we're gonna be talking about sports and community center. I just made a presentation and we're just gonna go through slides. And in this presentation, I intend to cover a few topics. It's divided in two parts. The session one is the video presentation itself, and the part B of the session one is the presentation transcription and a questionnaire for the participants. You're gonna be handing that by the end of the presentation. And the session two is the legislation and policies for sports and recreation centers. Okay, so I'm gonna go for the first slide, and we're gonna have. So this is pretty much the topics we're gonna be covering in the presentation. So what are the community sports centers? What are the benefits they can have for the community? What are the potential challenges and highlights? Why the government should invest in these centers? Why it's so important, like for a region or for an area or suburb or community to have like those type of facilities, and also how they impact the community as a whole. Okay, so yeah, go. Before we actually start the presentation, I just would like to bring some questions for the participants. So I think they questioning themselves. They're gonna be like using their personal experience, so they can see it's gonna be helping them. Okay, so pretty much what are the community sports centers? What are them? What sort of facilities they are? If they usually go to one of those centers, or if they have ever been in their life, and if yes, how did that impact their lives, or what kind of memory they have from these centers? If they would like to have one, for those ones who doesn't have any, how important those community sports centers are for people. What else? What positive impacts they can have in people's life. What sort of opportunities they can provide to people living nearby, and also why should the government invest in this kind of facilities? Why it's so important? So this is pretty much what we're gonna be like talking about. And if you guys have any questions, any feedback, just raise your arm, let us know, okay? You're more than welcome to share. First, what are community sports centers? Community sports centers are public locations where members of a community tend to gather for group activities, sport events, social support, or another purpose. It might be this, you can do a lot of different things in there, but most of them, especially here in Australia, they have like nice tennis courts. You can have like some basketball or football, soccer fields, or even courts. We have sometimes like netball plays. We got table tennis and like a whole variety of activities who they usually provide to the people living in those areas. So pretty much that's what they are. I just put here some of the benefits the sporting community centers have. So they can be a vehicle for positive social change. It also promote a series of benefits beyond the traditional aspirations of improved health and well-being. This might include they help to create a strong and more connected communities, inclusion of minority social groups. So we have people like with special needs, diversion of education of at-risk youth. That's a pretty good one, because it might be pretty helpful to give some support to those kids sometimes for those ones who doesn't have mom or dad, or someone who like struggling at school, anything like this. It helps to like create a healthy child development and contact with nature. Especially here, there's a lot of those centers. They have like the outdoors, so they have the kids can play in the field or close to the bush, which is nice, and can also help with economical, educational, tourist, and environment outcomes. So this is one of the main ones, but that's the list we're just going on. Okay, next, potential challenge and highlights. Some of the challenges I put here: provide to users a safe environment, equal opportunities, all the users, and general support. And also they have the challenge to contribute to a positive change, something that was already spoken about it, and also to be embraced by the community and help to create a healthier and more active community throughout sport. Okay. And highlights is, yeah, they can help shape a better, safer, and healthy society. We talked about this before. Bring investments to the local community. That's a good one, because they can get people engaged in all those indirect activities related to the center, and also provide facilities to everyone to enjoy and participate in sports and social activities. Okay, reasons for the government to promote invest in these facilities. That's sort of some of the things we already talking about, but it's just like can help a better create a better community, people more connected, people who can give support to each other, create a safe environment, and you can get like increasingly more people interested in sports and do like anything related to this. And also I just put a picture here of the Olympic symbol. So we know that a lot of athletes they did their very first goal in their sport in a community center close to the place. So it's just to show you how important they are. So someone that start playing in the community center, maybe within few years they're gonna be representing their country in Olympics. Okay, which is it's just one of the biggest achievements for sport. Impact on communities as a whole, like this positive impact. I think that is a sort of a mix of everything we're talking about before, a mix of benefits, highlights, and reasons why they should be investing on. So they can help give the community access and opportunity to experiment different type of sports and eventually like a better lifestyle. Okay, so we talked about those centers. This is the link for a very nice video I watched on YouTube. I'm gonna share with you guys later on. Just remind you that in the end. And here we're gonna start the session 2. The session 2, it's more like the legal side of the thing. So we're gonna be talking about legislation and policies of sport and community centers. So some of the main ones are anti-discrimination legislation, ethical principles of the center, code of practice, privacy law, and environmental issues. Okay, so we're gonna go one by one. Anti-discrimination law, we talked about this before. It's all about giving equal opportunities for people, and everyone, all the users, they should be treated in the same way. Doesn't matter if which religion they are from, which country, with their race, anything. So it's pretty much anyone shouldn't be like discriminated by that. So duty of care, that's like some of the responsibilities that people in charge in these centers they have. So they as we said, they need to keep the environment safe and monitor the management of the club, acquire working knowledge of the business of the club to see how it works, to keep the maintenance of the equipments, to keep like all the place nice and clean and in good conditions for other users. They should also keep informed the club's activity and assessment safety of the club practice. Be familiar with the financial status of the club by regular review financial statements. So this, as I said, is just like a bit more economics in the sense of the obligations of the club to comply with some financial legislation or whatever. And make equity into matters revealed by the financial statements when necessary or prudent. Ethical principles it's a bit what we said before. Professional relationships, client responsibility, agreed compliance with codes of conduct, practice, and ethics, truth and honesty regarding information given to the customers. We're gonna talk about later this about the privacy policy, professional standards of customer service, information collection, storage, and dissemination, inclusive and non-discriminatory practices. That's some of the things we're talking about before. Privacy law, that's pretty important because that's how the clubs they agree to keep storage and collect information from the client for the customers. So they don't have it like recently we have some new laws in regarding that. So if you go to a sport community center today, people are not allowed to use mobile phones in the change rooms, just to prevent people like kids getting changed, or like just to preserve the privacy of the users. And also like if you go to a sports or community center, if there's a class going on, you're probably not gonna be allowed to film or take photos, just even if your kids on the class, just to protect the privacy of the other kids with appears on the background. Okay. One more, occupational health safety. That's what we're talking about making sure the users have a safe and nice environment for them to play or to practice their sport activity. So we usually have someone on the club in charge to make sure everything is working as should be. Okay. Next one is some environmental issues. So no trespass, noise pollution, light pollution, use of waterways, nature conservation and biodiversity, use of roads, fishery management, cultural heritage, and there's another one which is waste management, which is a big one. So the clubs they agree to get the type of waste and rubbish and recycled, like sorted and put on the correct bin and keep the environment clean. Principle of effective communication. As any other company, those clubs, they should try to have like a good communication, try to communicate as much as effective as possible with the partners, with the users, with the families who are using that, with the government and everyone else. By doing it, they're gonna create, they're gonna let the agreements clear, and just is the best way to avoid some miscommunication. So that includes emails to the people who is related to the club, and all the other sort of communication. Okay, this is the main parties of the government who related to sport, the Australian Sport Commission, and in a state level, the New South Wales government with Sport and Recreation Office. So you guys can get a lot of information in those spots here. If you Google or type in one of those ones, you can get lots of one. That's the main one. Sport New South Wales.gov.au. Clubs are still legal. Okay, and this is a conclusion. Just really like this statement saying that sport must become an indispensable and inseparable part of our social life. Competitiveness is just a byproduct. So that's one of the biggest. That's one of the biggest benefits of sport. So that's help us to understand how important those sport and community center is, because they can get people together, people involved in the sport, help each other, and I think by doing it we can help to build up a better country and a better community. Okay, so that's it. Thanks for watching, and see you guys later. Bye.